biohacking, adapting one's body to make it more efficient, is set to become a multi-billion-dollar business. Biohacking, the future of sporting performance and exercise health, or maximizing exercise health, or just a semi-pseudo-scientific principle. Immersive sports science, not bro science. The term biohacking probably throws up visions of science fiction from movies and games. Yes, I never thought I would use Warhammer 40,000 footage in a sport and exercise science video. Biohacking refers to intentionally adapting or improving one's biology in order to optimize its function. The term biohacking was first coined in 1988. However, it is not a new concept. You could argue in a sporting context that doping is a form of biohacking, where one tries to improve their performance beyond their genetic potential. That's assuming that the individual has trained to their genetic potential and other individual factors do not apply. Other forms of biohacking in sport and exercise could include different forms of supplementation. Another example of a tenuous link of biohacking would be the implementation of personal sporting DNA testing kits, such as Mudo and DNA Fit, who test DNA and they can predict what sport you would most likely be good at. Another more real-world example is the Russians' use of muscle biopsies in order to create a polygenic DNA profile of athletes for Olympic talent identification. Of course, this profiling does not necessarily mean that one will be good at Z sport, and that an athlete who did not meet the supposed genetic requirements won't be good at that sport. More recently, exercise as well as longevity research utilizing biohacking, which to some has become a big potential business. The numbers of longevity biohacking startup companies have grown exponentially, and the entire market is expected to be around $2 billion by 2023, to then grow to $99 billion by 2027, provided that the current rates of growth stays the same. And although many of these new wave of biohacking companies are legitimate businesses and research institutions, alas, many are maybe jumping on a philosophical trend in order to sell a brand to a niche product, a brand that is in vogue and can potentially make them a lot of money, especially in markets where the marketing of pharmaceutical products are potentially less stringent. Biohacking very much has an image problem because of its past DIY do-it-yourself science and the DIY culture. Much biohacking research often forgoes ethical practices, and if they do utilize an ethics, the ontology and epistemology is often not recognized by mainstream science. Such principles include trans or posthumanism. Also, these philosophies may not be the correct or appropriate ones for the type of research required. Alas, many of these people either look at the principles of biohacking in a non-nuanced way or are misinformed, as the science is far from advanced or conclusive. This leads to many to follow a pseudo-scientific practices and beliefs that are or may not be accurate. There is a reason why research goes through such a long and rigorous scrutiny that requires ethical approval. This is partly to protect the individuals in the study, but also the researcher, and to make sure the research has a sound scientific basing for it to be studied. Doing something just to see what happens is just bad science, especially if there's no strong anecdotal evidence, body of peer-reviewed evidence in order to inform your work. And now, Germany is even arresting experimental biohackers who undertake research without ethics approval. For many, like the German biohacker Karina Ingram Neuer, biohacking is seen as a shortcut to health and fitness. However, the body is not so easily tricked. It will always try and reach homeostasis. Your body will adapt, and therefore your intervention, which might have had short-term gains, suddenly is less effective. This is also not to mention potential other negative side effects to occur because of that intervention. But many health and fitness biohackers choose the lifestyle after feeling disenchanted with the fitness industry as a whole.
Fitness program, you're not going to have a six-pack overnight. You're not going to build a six-figure business, a seven-figure business in 1 year.
By the way, this man does sell six-pack programs and owns a business called Seven Figure Mastermind.
That's called fucking marketing. That's marketing. It's really good marketing.
There is a lot of unqualified charlatans peddling bro science and unsubstantiated claims in order to make money, especially on social media. Broken down, nothing is new. One measurable parameter, though, is the number of people flocking to imitate practices of successful high-profile biohackers. Global conferences with renowned biohackers like Dave Asprey, the creator of Bulletproof Coffee, known to some critics as bullshit coffee, claim they will wake your untold potential and help you become an upgraded human. If it works, however, things like this, and delivers the elixir that they say it does to improve more productive lifestyle, then of course it is worth a look. But there is very little science and research associated with much of their claims. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is.